Okay, so I've, I've shared one video which is related with this steel connection and welding process. So first we will see that, and then we will see the tension member and compression member.
Yeah, I'll work on the presentation.
Every company
Okay, in that video, is seen that the members are connected with the help of welding, or we can use the electric arc welding. Uh, there are different process to connect the members with the help of welding. We already seen that, and the holes can be prepared with the help of this cutting section or different instrument. Now we will see the design of tension members. So these are some tension members. This tension member can be used in roof trusses, roof purlin system, brace frames, suspended members, suspension in buildings. So these are some tension members which is in related with the building. And these are different cross section we can use in case of tension member. So it may be single or double angles, channel section, eye section, then rods, cables, and also built up section. It is a combination of various section. Two members are connected and there is one plate which is top and bottom of that member. So it combined together which form a built up section. So this built up section can be used in case of tension member also. Then if we consider the behavior of plate in case of tension members, so this is related with the yielding of cross section. So gross section area and gross section of plate will have the yielding process, and that is related with the yielding of gross section. So basically in case of tension member, according to failure we have to design the tension member. So this is the possible limit state LD. We already studied this. This is the, if we consider this stress strain behavior of the member, so it is having stress is proportional to the strain up to this limits ultimate, sorry, yield stress. So yielding point it is have the proportionality limit, and this is possible limit state of yielding, and at the maximum point it will have the ultimate value. So this is rupture strength. So we have to consider this behavior of the member up to this yield point, and that is related with the yielding of gross section. Then next point is non-uniform stress. So more stress is near to the restraint and less near to the unrestrained, that is free ends. Okay, so stress is more at the near restrained condition, restrained position, and less at the free ends. So in case of failure, in case of tension member, we have to consider the behavior of the member. Then shear lag. This when we are designing the tension member, this shear lag width is also important parameter while designing the member. In case of channels, when both legs are connected, when we have extend this length, so this is the part of cross section which is not effective. This is less stress. So this is for channel sections, both legs, if the both legs are connected with the help of bolts. Okay, so when we are considering the shear lag weight, so this portion is not effective. That is, we do not have to consider the part of cross section because it is less stress area. We have to consider only this top and bottom portion. Then angles may be single angle connected, eccentrically loaded through gusset plate. So just see here, it is connected at the bottom leg is connected with the member, the plate with the help of this bolt connection. So this angles can be used for designing. This is the part of cross section not effective in the lay stress. Okay, so basically in the shear lag condition of shear lag, how will you consider their effect? Okay, so this vertical member, suppose this is angle section, there are two legs, one is outstanding leg and second is the connected leg. Okay, So the leg which is connected to the plate with the help of this bolt, that leg is called as connected leg, and the other one which is nothing but the outstanding leg. If we straighten this outstanding leg, that means the horizontal vertical member will get horizontal, so it forms a straight members. Okay, and the distance from that connection up to the end of the outstanding leg, that is nothing but shear lag width. Okay, and just see in the second diagram, this is the part of cross section which is not effective, that means it is less stress area. So we have to consider this portion, that means we have to straighten the members and the distance up to the from connecting point up to the outstanding leg. So this shear lag width we have to consider while designing. Then effect of shear lag, some effects are given. Strength reduction, then part of cross section is ineffective, that is less stress, which is we have to consider in the design. Then factors affecting or causing shear lag, outstand, that is nothing but the unconnected part. The connected part, that is nothing but the connected leg, and the part which is not connected, so that is nothing but outstanding leg. Okay, so due to that there will be the shear lag effect. Basically the shear lag will cause due to this outstand member, that is unconnected member. Okay, more outstand, more shear lag. If the member, suppose, just see the first and second member. So in case of first member, this is equal angle and this is unequal angle section. There are angle sections, basically depends on this width and length. If the width and length of the angle section is same, so that is nothing but equal angle section. Okay, and the width and length is different, so it is unequal angle section. Okay, we can use the equal angle section or unequal angle section. Okay, just see the second figure. In that case, the length of member, that is length of outstanding leg is more, so it causes the more shear lag. When we straighten that member, the horizontal member of vertical member will get horizontal, so it will have more shear lag weight. That means if more outstand, more shear lag weight. More outstand, that means the length of the outstanding leg is more as compared to the connecting leg, so it will have the more shear lag. Thin and slender outside also had the more shear lag. Thin and slender members. Okay, if the thickness is same, that is the member is thin and slender, more have slender member, thickness is also same and the length is more. So in that case, it will also have the more shear lag. Then connection stiffness. This is flexible connection, more shear lag, single leg connection for and both leg connection. That means we are connected with the help of one bolt or number of bolts, that also depends on the shear lag. Then angles in tension. So if we are designing the members, the tension members, so we have to use this design strategy, that is the failure. Basically to prevent the failure, we have to design according to that. Just previously we have seen that the bolts is fail in bear, shear and tearing. So according to that, we have to design the bolt in shearing, that is single shear, double shear, and bearing strength, and also for tension failure. Similarly, in case of tension member, we have to design the member according to gross section yielding, net section rupture, and block shear failure. Okay, so these are the three failure which occurs in case of tension member. Just we will see that. First is the gross section yielding. That means the section which is connected or that tension member which have the deformation in the cross section. That means cross section is changes. You can see in this figure. In this figure, the cross section of the member is changes due to the loading condition or any variation in the stresses or temperature, pressure, or environmental effect. The cross section of the member is changed. So this type of failure is called as gross section yielding. Okay, जो आपका gross area है उसमें yielding हो रहा है. That means the cross section is changes. Okay. So this type of failure we have to consider while designing the tension member. So this is the first failure, that is nothing but gross section yielding. Now the second type of failure is nothing but net section rupture. That means the bolt line. Just see the figure. In that there are different, sorry, number of rows. In that case, number of bolts are provided, and just see the first line of bolt. It is more stress. So due to that more stress condition, the bolt line will get crushed. It will have breakage in that line. So this type of failure is nothing but called as net section rupture. जो नेट सेक्शन है, that means the it consists of the bolt and bolt hole. So that line which is connected with this two bolt, first line of bolt will have the failure, and that type of failure is nothing but net section rupture. There will be the rupture of this bolt along the bolt line, sorry, along rupture of the plate along the bolt line. So that is nothing but net section rupture. So you can see in the first figure also and the second figure also. So this type of failure is net section rupture. Okay. Then third type of failure is nothing but called as block shear failure. That means whole plate get crush off or whole plate get slip off from that particular member. Just see that this rectangular plate is get crush off from that basic plate or main plate. So this failure is nothing but block shear failure. Okay. If two members are connected and one member is having more force, so due to that application of force, the plate will get crushed. Plate will get slip off from that, whole plate will get slip off from the member, and that is this failure is nothing but called as block shear failure. Okay. Then next we are using different formulas to find out the failures which is occurs in the tension member. So first we know that it is a gross section yielding, EDG, and the rupture of net section. For that you can use this formula. Gross section yielding is simple formula, then net section rupture. So it is zero point 0.9 ANC Fe upon gamma 1. This formula is given in the IS 800 2007. What is this ANC? ANC is the net area of connected leg. With the leg which is connected to this uh, joint, sorry, with the help of bolt or welded connections, that leg is connected leg. And net area, if there is word net, that means we have to deduct the hole diameter, number of holes and its diameter we have to deduct from the total area. So that's why that is related with the net area. ANC is your net area of the connected leg. And AGO, what is this AGO? It is the gross area of the unconnected leg, that is called as outstanding leg. This unconnected leg is nothing but outstanding leg. So gross area is nothing but we don't have to deduct the hole diameter or number of holes or uh, connections, that is it may be welded connection, bolted connection or riveted connection. So we don't have to. Murkhai. So this is the rupture of net section. Okay. So this is the ANC, net area of connected leg, AGO, gross area of unconnected, and this beta value is the reduction factor based on the contribution of unconnected. That is depends on the shear lag width also. Okay, so beta factors we can calculate it and can find out the net section rupture value. So beta is 1.4 minus 0.06 W by T, Fi by Fu, and Bs by Lc. What is this Bs? W plus WL minus T. Okay. So W is this width of outstanding leg plus W1 is the distance from this end up to the connecting system, and we have to detect the thickness. Then also TDN value can be find out using this formula alpha n an Fe upon gamma m1. These formulas are already given in the IS code. Then the block shear failure. Just see in this figure, this is the plate. Actually, this plate gets slip off from this main plate. And this type of failure is nothing but the block shear failure. Okay, this whole plate which consists of this four number of bolt. Okay, so this is your block shear failure. So parallel to the this force, in which direction the force is acting, so we have to consider the two factors. Okay, AVG and AVN. So it is block shear failure we have to consider while designing the tension member. Okay, it may be have tension and shear. So shear हो गया आपका parallel to the plane, that is parallel to the force applied, and tension will act perpendicular to the application of force. So this is related with the block shear failure. Then welded tension member, we have to no net area, no reduction of area due to bolt holes. In case of welded tension member, okay, if the tension member are connected with the help of this welding, so in that case the net area and gross area will be same. We don't have to deduct any uh, parameter because this is a welded tension member. So design strength is based on gross area only, no reduction of area due to bolt holes. ठीक है, यहाँ पे आपके bolt hole नहीं है, only the connected members are connected with the help of welding. So it is the design strength is based on the gross area only. Okay, so we have to consider the gross area. If the word is gross is there, so we have to consider the total area for that particular section. Then we know the yielding of gross section is having Ag Fy upon gamma m0. Yielding of gross section is denoted by TDG, which is having formula Ag Fy upon gamma m0. Fy yield strength of material, gamma m0 partial safety factor, and Ag is the gross area. Okay, आपको पर्टिकुलर मेंबर दिया रहेगा, so for that you have to find out the Ag value, that is gross section area. Okay, and the second is the rupture of net section. It is a standard formula 0.9 AnFu upon gamma m1, or you can use this beta formula because there will be the shear lag with connection LS BS by LC. There are different formula which is we have to use while calculating the beta, so it will give the accurate value. So that formula you have to use to find out the net section rupture failure. And block shear, there are different formulas for block shear also. Then next is the compression member. So compression member is nothing but a structural element subjected to axial compressive forces. The force is acting, compressive force is acting, so that members is nothing but compression member. The structural element subjected to only axial compressive forces. Okay, the loads are applied along the longitudinal axis through the centroid. So basically stress formula we know that load upon area. So stress is Fa. If we consider, then it is equal to P upon A. Okay. So in case of compression member, this formula can be used to find out the stress. Then there are different types of compression member. It may be columns, the vertical member that support the vertical load, that is column, then trusses and bracing system. This consists of also compressive forces. Then struts, smaller compression member, which is not classified as columns. So these are some types of compression member. Just see the figure. Then compression member are susceptible to buckling. It will have the buckling effect when the load is acting according to axis, that is to the axis. Axial force is acting, so it will have some buckling effect in the member. So basically, in the compression member, susceptible to the buckling, that is, causes the loss of stability, and axial load causes the lateral deformation. Will have the buckling effect. Okay. P is applied slowly, then P is increases, and members become unstable and buckles. Okay, the members will get unstable if we increasing the load, and it will have the buckling effect. Okay, just say in case of beam, when the load is acting, there will be the bending, and in case of column, the actual load is acting, so load is increases, then it will have the buckling effect. Then it depends on this critical load value, that is P delta effect, we have to consider while designing the compression member. So critical load, actual force that causes buckling, is called critical load, and it is associated with the column strength. This actual force which causes the buckling, and the load is nothing but critical load, and which is related with the column strength. So this is critical load is depend. This is denoted by PCR. It depends on the length of member, material properties, and section properties. So these are some struts or compression members which is connected by bolt. First figure is related with the single angle strut connected with the help of one bolt. Next is it is connected with the two bolts. Then double angle section back to back. Okay, this is first and second figure is having single angle section, and C figure is having double angle section which is connected with the plate back to back. Or we can provide the angle section on the same side of gusset plate. Okay, this connection is double angle strut on opposite side of gusset plate, and the next figure is double angle strut on the same side. We can uh, provide the angle section or strut on the same side of plate or the opposite side. Then similarly, there are different types of buckling. So according to that, we have to design the member. Previously, we have seen this tension member. In case of tension member, the failure is due to cross section yielding, net section rupture, and block shear failure. So here for compression member, it depends on the buckling effect. So there are types of buckling: flexural, torsional, and flexural torsional buckling. So this is a flexural buckling of columns. Load is acting like this. Then there is a length. This is the length of column. So according to that, the effective length will change. How the column will act, all the column will behave according to this load. So there are different end conditions, and according to that, the effective length will vary. Then this is torsional buckling. Also, the movement is acting at this end of this column, so it will have effect like this. So this is nothing but torsional buckling. It create a torsion at the end, and it will have some bending effect like this. So this is related with the torsional buckling. Then combination of both. This is a flexural, this is torsional buckling, and this is flexural torsion. Just see the figure. This is the related with the flexural torsional buckling. So according to this failure, we have to design the compression member. In the previous lecture, we have seen this one table which is related with this tension member. Okay, so this we already seen this. This table can be used to classify the section: plastic, compact, semi-compact section, or we can use the different section: angle, channel, T, solid sections. So this all these section are used in case of tension and compression members. So this is the three types which are related with this compression member. Okay, and basically it depends on this axial load which causes the columns to buckle, and this Generally it is formalized pi square ei by l square. So basically the critical load value depends on length, material and section properties. So these are the properties. This is torsion effect. So here it is, this member, it is a I section member. It is your I section member. It will have the movement. The movement is acting at the end of this member, so it causes the bending effect. Somewhat it is bending effect is there. So it is your this type of buckling, we called it as the torsional buckling. Then this is the combination flexural torsional buckling. This is the shape of deformation. Then the CG will be acting like this at the center of uh, the cross section area. And this is the combination of flexural and torsional buckling. So this is all about the tension member. Okay, so in case of tension, there are three design strategies: cross section, net section, and block shear. And in case of compression member, you have to consider the buckling effect. There are different types: flexural buckling, torsional buckling, and flexural torsional buckling. So this is all about the column basis connection system, different connection system we already studied, and the compression and tension members. So I will complete this.